Okay, good. Okie dokie.
Got it.
And we'll start seated as we usually do.
Excellent.
Hopefully everyone's week is going well.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I need to.
We'll start seated, letting your sit bones rest down in the chair. Letting the soles of your feet rest down on the floor. And maybe letting the shoulders rest down. Might feel good just to sway a little bit, to wiggle, to get any wiggles out. If you feel any sort of fidgety movements in your body, maybe just letting them out a little bit. A little wiggle, a little shake, and settling into some kind of stillness. Where you feel supported by the chair. And then letting the crown of the head reach up, stretching the spine up or finding length in the spine, as though you were growing 3 inches taller. And then with this tall spine, softening shoulders, softening the hands and arms, and letting the breath flow as smoothly and easily as possible. Just be here with the breath for a few moments. Notice the backs of your thighs on the chair. Notice the sit bones on the chair. Let them sink down, let them really feel supported. Noticing sensations in the palms of your hands and fingertips. And then noticing the temperature of the air as you breathe it in. And as you breathe it out. Spending a few moments just noticing the temperature of the air as you breathe. Let's start moving gently into the head. We'll start by tipping the chin down towards the chest with an exhale. Then inhaling to lift the head, tipping the chin up. And exhaling to bring the chin down again. Continuing to move in this way, following the rhythm of your breath. And making your way back to center as you're ready, when you feel about even. And pause once you arrive in center. Notice sensations in the neck, anywhere else that you might feel it. And then let's turn the head from side to side with an exhale, turning to look over one shoulder. And inhaling back to center as you're ready. And exhaling back over the other shoulder. Coming back to center as you're ready. And continuing to move, exhaling to turn, inhaling to come back. Next time you feel even, making your way back to center only as you're ready. Reconnect with the sit bones, letting them be heavy in the chair. Crown of the head reaching up. And pausing here to notice sensations. From here, let's tip the head on a diagonal. So we'll tip one ear towards one shoulder with an exhale. And inhale back up to center. Exhaling other ear to other shoulder. And inhaling back up to center as you're ready. Continuing to move this way a couple more times. Exhaling to tilt. Inhaling to come back up. Next time you feel even, making your way back to center. And pausing in center, noticing sensation, noticing how the neck feels. And let's move down into our shoulders. Let's roll the shoulders, whichever direction feels more natural first. Hands can lift or stay resting down. And let's switch directions, rolling the shoulders the other way. And pausing, letting the shoulders rest down, letting the hands rest down. Pause for a moment, notice sensations in the shoulders, noticing if one side of or one shoulder feels different than the other. And let's find, a little bit of an arm stretch. Let's reach right arm up and overhead if that feels okay for the shoulder. And then we'll either drop the forearm onto the top of the head if that feels okay, or you might let the hand reach down behind your head or neck or back. This might be enough right here. You might use the left hand to draw the right elbow or to put a little bit of pressure on the right elbow, as long as it feels okay for all of your joints. You might, if you're in this position, resist the elbow and the hand together. You might push the elbow up towards the ceiling and push down on the elbow with the hand, finding just a little bit of resistance, a little bit of stretch. Breathing here, maybe 2 more breaths if it feels okay to be here. We're not looking for any pain. Then when you're ready, let's reach both arms out wide. Reaching the fingertips to the opposite edges of the room. And then we'll switch hands, reaching left arm up and overhead. And either letting the forearm come to your head, or maybe reaching the hand back behind your head or neck or shoulders. And then the right arm this time might come and help with the stretch. You might hold the elbow, finding a little bit of pressure, pushing down on the elbow with the hand and resisting with the elbow. Elbow pushes up. And breathing, always breathing. Another breath if it feels okay to be here. And then let's stretch the arms out wide again, fingertips reaching for opposite sides of the room. And then releasing both hands back down to your lap. Give yourself that pause, the moment in between to notice sensations in the shoulders, the arms, maybe the elbows or hands. Reaching the arms out wide once more. Fingertips reaching to opposite sides of the room. And then we'll sweep the arms back behind the back. So either the backs of the hands might come to the low back, or you might hold wrists, or you might hold elbows. So it might look like the hands are one on top of the other at the low back. You might hold both wrists, or you might hold elbows. Breathing here, wherever you are, whichever position, reaching the hands or forearms down towards the floor behind you. So you're kind of pulling the shoulders down more than just letting them relax down. You've got a little bit of pull, and breathe. One more breath if it feels okay to be here. Then let's release the arms again, stretching the fingers out wide. And then release hands back down to your lap. Pause for a moment, notice sensations. Let's get into the upper back a little bit. We'll move with breath. Let's start in a prayer position, so palms together. With an inhale, we'll draw the arms apart, coming into goalpost or cactus arms, and feel as though you're pulling the shoulder blades back together. And then with an exhale, bringing the hands back towards each other. Inhaling to move the arms apart, cactus, pulling shoulder blades together, and then exhaling to bring the hands together. Continuing to move in this way, following your own body's rhythm. Maybe letting this be the last one, bringing the hands back together with your exhale, and then releasing the hands back down to your lap. Notice sensations in the upper back, maybe in the fronts of the shoulders, just noticing where you feel it in your body. Let's move on down into the spine a little more. Let's find a little bit of a twist. Let's start with fingertips on the shoulders, reaching the elbows out wide. And then find your inhale to find a tall spine, crown of the head reaching up. As you exhale, let's twist to one direction. This doesn't have to be a deep twist, then inhaling back to center. Let it be gentle, exhaling the other way. And inhaling back to center. So we'll continue moving, exhaling to twist, inhaling to center, exhaling to twist. Inhaling to center. Maybe twice more on each side. Moving with your breath. Keeping the feet really stable. You might push into the floor to keep the hips stable. And once you've done both sides a couple of times, releasing the hands back down. And noticing sensations in the torso. How did the twist feel? How did the arms feel? And let's twist again, but we'll stay in the twist for a breath or two this time. Keeping the feet firmly on the floor, gentle push into the floor to keep the legs stable. Inhale nice and tall. As you exhale, turn the shoulders towards one side, maybe using the back hand to support you behind, either behind you on the chair or maybe back beside your hip. You might hold the backrest. And then as you stay in the twist and breathe, how would it feel to imagine turning the ribs along with the shoulders? If that feels okay, how would it feel to imagine turning the belly button along with the ribs and the shoulders? One more full breath if it feels okay. You might look over your shoulder with the head if it feels okay for the neck. And then let's unwind, coming back to center. Pausing for a moment here. And finding that tall seat again, gentle push of the feet into the floor. And let's turn the shoulders the other way. The back hand might come back beside your hip or behind you on the chair or to the backrest. Breathe. Then if it feels okay to be here, how would it feel to move down to your ribs and imagine you were turning your ribs in the same direction? If that feels okay, how would it feel to turn the belly button in the same direction? You might look over the back shoulder with your head if it feels okay for the neck. Let's stay for one more breath. With an inhale, unwinding, making your way back to center. And pausing, noticing how the twist feels in the body, how the torso feels, the rib feel. Let's find our side bend. Let's bring fingertips back to the shoulders, reaching the elbows out wide again. Reaching the crown of the head up with an inhale. And as you exhale, tipping over to one side. Coming back to center as you're ready. And exhaling other side. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. Continuing to move about twice more on each side. Keeping the sit bones heavy, glued to the chair. Then releasing hands back down. Making your way back. Noticing sensations, feeling the tall spine. Let's move into our arching and rounding or cat-cow of the spine. I'll turn sideways, but you can stay as you are. Setting your hands up on the knees or thighs. Finding that tall spine again, really rooting the sit bones down and reaching the crown of the head up as if you've got a puppet string coming out through the top of your head. With your next exhale, rounding the spine, pulling the belly button towards the back of the room. And then with an inhale, drawing the chest forward, as though your heart were coming through the upper arms. Your gaze might lift. Exhaling again to round the spine, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling to cow pose. Chest comes forward, gaze lifts, pulling the shoulder blades together. Moving between these two shapes with your breath. Depending on how you're feeling today, it may be a more subtle movement or a deeper movement. And when you feel you've had enough, making your way back to center, to the tall and neutral spine. Feet firmly planted, crown of the head lifting, letting the hands relax, letting the elbows feel heavy. And noticing sensations. Let's find our core activation before we move down into the legs. So same position. The comfortable seat, the tall spine. This time, let's reach the hands out so the arms are straight and the hands are on the knees. With your next exhale, push the hands down into the knees and then draw the knees up into the hands. The feet aren't going to lift off the floor, but you've got this pressure between the 2 points of contact. And then keep breathing. One more full breath cycle if it feels okay to be here. And then releasing the hands, releasing the legs, releasing the torso. Might feel good to take a little twist from side to side or to lean forward and breathe into a soft belly. And then come back up to seated. Setting up, we'll do that twice more. Before we do the second one, if you want to kind of remind yourself which area we're targeting, cough. And notice what area of your body contracts as you cough. That's the core support, not just the front of the belly, but all the way around. You might even feel a little bit in your back. And then once you're ready, finding the tall seat, hands to knees, arms stretched out. With an exhale, push hands into knees, draw knees up in towards your hands. Keep that pressure and keep breathing. Letting the breaths be as smooth as possible. One more full breath cycle. And releasing hands, releasing knees, and then finding your counter move, whether that's the leaning forward and breathing into a soft belly, or a little twist from side to side. Before making your way back up to center, back to the tall seat, we'll do one more. Stretching the hands out towards the knees, arms are straight. With an exhale, pushing the hands into the knees, drawing knees up into hands. Keep breathing. One more breath. Then releasing the hands as you're ready, releasing the knees, finding your counter move. Holding forward maybe, or a little twist. Just releasing the contraction in the belly, in the ribs, or in the side body. All right, let's move on down into the legs. So shifting forward on your seat a little bit so the sit bones are closer to the edge of the chair. Reconnecting to the sit bones in this new position, finding the balanced position of your legs. And then let's draw right knee up towards the chest. Choice, whether you use the hand to draw the knee up or whether you use the knee all on its own, bringing the leg up of its own power. Breathing here, reconnect to your tall spine, broaden the shoulders again. Find that breadth in the chest, in the upper back. And then we'll find some circles with the leg. You can use the support of your hand if you wish, or you can make your circles with no support, using the strength of your leg, exploring your range of motion. And let's switch directions. Circles the other way. And the next time the knee comes forward, we'll catch it with our hands, holding either around the shin or under the thigh. Let's find some ankle circles. Switching directions of the ankle circles. And pointing and flexing the foot a couple of times. And releasing the foot, let's switch the clasp of the hand. If it's around the shin, let's hold underneath the thigh. And we'll straighten the leg out 3 times, stretching and bending. Stretching and bending. And this last one, let's hold for, let's say 2 full cycles of breath and it feels okay. One more breath. And then releasing the leg, releasing the foot back down to the floor. And give yourself that pause, notice sensations, any differences from one leg to the other. And then we'll draw the left leg up towards you, whether you want to use your hands or just draw the leg up with its own strength, your choice. Reconnect to the tall seat, broaden the shoulders, lift the crown of the head. Okay, and choice again, whether you hold the leg to find your circles or whether the leg moves of its own power. Maybe a balance between the two. Light support. And let's switch directions when you're ready. make circles the other way. And the next time your knee comes forward, we'll catch the leg and move into our ankle circles on this side. Switching directions as you're ready. And pointing and flexing the foot a few times. And releasing or softening the foot. If you're holding around the shin, let's move the clasp of the hand so that it's under the thigh. And we'll stretch the leg out 3 times, holding on the last one. Stretching, bending, stretching, and bending. And then this last one we'll hold, let's say, for 2 full cycles of breath. One more if it feels okay to stay. And then releasing the foot back down to the floor and pausing. Move into our sun salutation. So setting up in any way that you feel comfortable, whether that means that the feet stay close together or about hip width distance apart. When we fold forward, there might be some compression between belly and thighs, which might feel nice, or it might feel better to have a little more space, allowing room for the torso to come through so you don't get that compression. As you're ready, setting yourself up, feeling stable and strong, feet pushing gently into the floor. When you're ready, let's sweep the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bringing the hands back down to the thighs. Inhaling to draw chest forward, cow pose. Exhaling to round the spine, Halloween cat. Coming back to a tall spine, inhale. And exhale to fold forward. With an inhale, we'll sweep right arm up into a twist. Exhale, right arm back down. Inhale, left arm up into a twist. Exhale, left arm down. Inhaling to come back to a tall seat. Arms might sweep up and over. Exhale, hands back to thighs. And pausing here, breathing. When you're ready, we'll move through and again, inhale to sweep arms up. Exhale, hands back to thighs. Inhale to draw chest forward. Exhale to Halloween cat shape. Coming back to a tall spine, inhale. And exhale to fold. With an inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm up into a twist. Exhale, left arm down. Coming back to a tall spine, inhale, both arms sweep up and over. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Pausing here for a moment. Feeling the breath. And then as you're ready, we'll move through our last sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands back to thighs. Inhale, chest comes forward, cow pose. Exhale, rounding the spine, Halloween cat shape. Coming back to a tall seat, inhale. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, right arm back down. Inhale, left arm up into a twist. Exhale, left arm down. Coming back to a tall seat, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands back to thighs. Pausing here, noticing any sensations in the body, any flow of energy, noticing your breath. And then let's come to standing, any way that you choose to come up. Let's set ourselves up today so that we have access to the seat of the chair. Find some lunges this morning. And then setting yourself up a comfortable distance from the chair so that if you were to lean over, your palms can comfortably reach the seat of the chair for support. Once you've got that distance and you're set up, coming to stand on both feet. Finding an equivalent position to our tall spine in a chair to standing now. So both feet pushing into the floor, imagining that all of your joints are stacked. Letting the hands rest down by your sides. And letting the crown of the head again feel as though it's lifting up, like the puppet string is pulling you up towards the ceiling. From here, how would it feel to soften the shoulders down any amount, keeping both the chest and upper back broad. And letting the breath flow smoothly and easily. When you're ready with an inhale, let's sweep the arms up and over. With an exhale, we'll bend the knees and reach down the legs as far as possible. Inhaling to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend them again. One more time, inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. And with an inhale, let's come all the way back up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands back down to your sides. Breathing for a moment and in between breath. Notice if the weight has shifted, if the weight is evenly distributed in both feet. And then when you're ready, let's inhale again, arms sweep up. Exhale to bend the knees, reaching down the legs as far as you can. Inhale to straighten the legs any amount. Exhale to bend again. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. This time, let's inhale to bring the hands to the seat of the chair. And pause here in this flat back position. When you're ready with an inhale, let's step the right foot back, as big a step as you can, coming onto the toes. The front leg can stay bent. So we're kind of in a runner's lunge here. From here, how would it feel to draw the chest forward, pulling the shoulder blades together, almost as though you were shining your heart towards the front of the room? Then how would it feel to imagine that the right heel was really heavy, reaching down towards the ground? Breathe here, another breath or two if it feels okay to be here. And let's release the head and chest. And we'll step the right foot forward once more. Breathing here, it might feel good to bend into one leg and then the other. Before finding some stillness, this flat back position. And when you're ready with an inhale, again, we'll step, this time the left foot as big a step back as possible, coming up onto your toes. And the front leg will stay bent. Runner's lunge on the other side. From here, how would it feel to draw the heart forward, draw the chest forward, maybe looking forward? Feel as though your shoulder blades are pulling towards each other. Then maybe, how would it feel to let the left heel feel so heavy as though we're reaching towards the ground? Keep breathing. And let's release the chest, release the head. Step left foot forward. With an exhale, let's find a bend in the knees. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Coming back to standing, releasing the hands down to your sides. Beautiful. Let's find a little bit of balance. So let's actually turn the chair around. So we'll use the backrest of the chair for this. We'll stand sideways or perpendicular to the chair. So you could stand in front of the chair as well, as long as you have the support. Let's start by standing on the left leg. That will be the supportive leg, and we'll let the right foot start to come off the floor. So you might come up onto the toes. You might swing right knee out towards the right. And then you can decide whether this is enough of a balance with the support of your toe, a little kickstand, or whether the foot comes onto the shin, maybe the ankle. We're avoiding the knee. Pushing the sole of the foot, if it's lifted, into the standing leg and letting the standing leg push back. And then you decide. Maybe the supportive hand lifts ever so slightly, or hovers or bounces on the chair. If you're feeling really stable, you might do something else with your arms, maybe pin them into prayer or to your hips, or maybe they wave out like branches. Maybe reaching overhead. Wherever you are, keep breathing. It can help to find a focal point a few feet in front of you on the floor. Something that isn't moving. One more full breath. It feels okay to be here. Then let's bring right knee forward. Let's stretch the leg out in front of us, lifting as high as possible. Breathe. And then release the foot down to the floor. Finding any wiggling that would feel good, maybe shaking out the standing leg. And then we'll switch sides. I'm going to switch my chair on to support me on the other side. Give my other hand a chance at supporting me. We'll stand on the right leg this time. This time letting the left foot get light, coming up onto the toes to begin. Then swinging the left knee out towards the left. So you might play here. The toe on the floor might act as a kickstand, allowing you to play with balance in a different way. Or you might lift the foot onto the shin or the ankle, just avoiding the knee. If the foot is lifted, we're pushing the sole of the foot into the standing leg, and the standing leg is pushing back. And then you decide, maybe the supported hand hovers or bounces. Or maybe if you feel really stable, you come out with some branches, or hands on hips, or hands in prayer. Finding that focal point on the floor to keep you steady. Breathing. One more full breath cycle, but feels okay to be here. Knowing if you fall out, you just come back. It's just yoga. It's just balance. And let's draw left knee forward. Before we let it touch the floor, straightening the leg, lifting the leg as high as possible. Breathe. And then release the foot to the floor. Finding any wiggling that would feel good. Let's find one more balance. We'll start with the chair on the same side this time, but we'll switch feet. So I'll stand, my right hand has the support. We're gonna stand on the left leg first, letting the right foot start to come light. Maybe just the toes on the floor. Maybe the foot lifts and you draw your knee forward towards you. So this might be where you stay. Just a different variation of a balance. If you're looking for a little extra, you might bring your left hand to rest on your right knee. And then you might start to turn your shoulders towards the chair, a standing twist. Maybe that's crazy talk. But maybe you get here and maybe your supporting hand hovers or lifts. Maybe you play with your balance here. Keep breathing. Still helpful to find that focal point somewhere on the floor. Keep yourself steady. And let's unwind if you're wound. Squeeze the knee up towards you as high as possible and then release the foot to the floor. Beautiful. Last side. So I'll switch the direction of my chair so the other hand again has the support. Standing on the right leg, the left leg starts to get light, drawing the knee up towards you. And this might be a great place to stay. Maybe this is enough for today. And you play with balance here. If you're looking for a little more, maybe the right hand comes to the left knee. And then maybe you start to turn your shoulders towards the chair. Finding your focal point, keep breathing. And maybe you play with the balance here. Maybe the hand lifts just ever so slightly, or maybe you're feeling really stable in the hand. You can go elsewhere, to your hip, or just hovering above the chair. Keep breathing. And as you're ready, unwinding, coming back to center. Let's draw left knee in towards the chest as close as possible before releasing to the floor. Maybe shaking out both feet, finding a little wiggle in the whole body. Let's widen the feet, pointing the toes out towards the edges. And then maybe dipping down, letting the sit bones come low, finding a bit of a goddess pose. Might feel good to sway, or it might feel good to have straighter legs. Letting this be a bit intuitive, finding any movement that just feels right in your body. Then maybe one last stretch, straightening the legs, reaching the arms out wide, stretching the whole body, taking up as much space as possible. And before releasing the hands, walking the feet back together. And making our way back to seated. Finding yourself back in a comfortable seat. Letting the sit bones rest down. Letting the soles of the feet rest down, and maybe even letting your back rest against the backrest if you have one. If it would feel good here, you could close your eyes. Notice sensations in the feet, in the low legs, in the knees, in the thighs, in the hips, in the belly, the low back, the ribs, all the way around, the chest, the upper back, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. Noticing sensations in the neck, in the head, maybe your mouth, your nose, your eyes, cheeks, your forehead, and the skull where your hair is covering. Feeling the skin on your head. Coming back to feeling your eyes. And letting the eyes feel heavy in their sockets. Coming back to the nose. Noticing the feeling of the air as it moves through you. Feeling the breath. You can stay exactly as we are as we close practice. Or you could move your hands to bring them over your heart, or maybe into prayer position. Sending gratitude to yourself, first of all, for making the time to move and breathe together, for honoring your body and breath. With gratitude for allowing me to guide you through the practice today. And with gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us, passing this practice down. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace.
Thank you, Stephanie.